Hey guys, Melinda here. Today I am going to be talking about something that I honestly love to talk about and love to inform others about, and I am going to be answering the question why I am a film major. I get this question a lot, and it's usually because people are either genuinely curious or they're concerned about me, because getting into the film industry is really difficult, and I don't blame people for asking about it. It kind of reminds me that a couple weeks ago in my working in the TV and film industry class, we did what is called a narrative statement for our midterm, which is basically the letter that we would have to write going into grad school. I have no idea if I'm going to go to grad school just yet. Currently I'm not looking towards it, but it is still an option for the future. Basically, the question that the professor asked us to write about in that statement is, why do we want to be a filmmaker? And this kind of ties into why I'm a film major and why I'm here and how I got to this point. Some of you are probably already familiar with my backstory. If you're not, I'll just briefly run through it. I wouldn't say I had a tough childhood growing up, but definitely wasn't like picture perfect type of childhood. I was bullied a lot, and I've repressed so much stuff in the past, dealing with drama with friends and family issues and stuff like that. Basically, when all of that was happening, an outlet that I had was writing. I was writing short stories, and I just kept doing that in my free time, and my English teacher in 7th grade came up to me and told me about this writing festival. I decided to take part in the writing festival, and I've been writing ever since. It wasn't until high school when I got into screenwriting, because sophomore year everyone had to do a project of their choice. I decided to write a feature-length screenplay and film a couple scenes from my actual script and film a trailer. That's when I fell in love with film. I've been doing it ever since. It's what I'm passionate about. It makes me happy, hence why I'm here actually making this YouTube video, because I wanted to expand it and I want to improve my skills with editing and filming and directing and all of that stuff. And what better way to do that than through YouTube videos? When it comes to that question of why I'm a film major, why I'm a filmmaker, a lot of people always get concerned because they're like, how can you make a career in that? Isn't it really hard to get into the industry? Do you have a backup plan in case it doesn't work? How are you going to make a living off of that? What do you specifically want to do in the film industry? Because, you know, some things are a little bit more harder to get into than others, such as acting. I tell everyone the same thing. And that's, I don't always tell them my backstory, but the backstory does help. And that's, I've just been doing this for so long now that this is my career. Even if I'm not making money off of it right now, this is what I'm destined to do. I can't do anything else because I get bored with it, and other things that I've attempted in the past, it just never plays out. But filmmaking, I've been doing it for about, I'm trying to think, 6 years now? I've been doing it for about 6 years now, and it never bores me. I'm always coming up with creative ideas. I'm just constantly working on stuff. When I get asked those questions a lot, I always just tell them that this is my passion. This is the only, it's not the only thing I know how to do, but it's one of the only things that I know how to do really well, and that I know that I do well at, that I exceed at. I can't ever imagine myself doing anything else. And so when people always ask me those questions and stuff, they always ask about the rejection. I just want to say that I am very familiar with the rejection. I have submitted screenplays to multiple competitions in the past. None of them have made it through. Only once was I a finalist in a competition. I've been filmmaking for 6 years now, and if I show you the scenes that I did 6 years ago and the trailer that I filmed compared to the stuff that I'm making now, there is a significant difference as to how much I've improved, and I continue to improve every time I make a YouTube video, every time I'm given a class assignment, anytime something like that happens in my life. I know I've said this multiple times, it's pretty much just reiterating what I'm saying, but I know that it is going to be incredibly difficult. This is a really hard career to create and get into, but I can't do anything else with my life. I am destined to be a filmmaker. No matter how much hate, no matter how much rejection, no matter how much support people aren't going to give me, it's not going to change my mind, and it's not going to change my heart. It's not going to change what I am passionate about. I am going to be a filmmaker one day, no matter what anybody says or thinks, and it could take years. In fact, I assume that it's going to take years, but this is what I'm passionate about, and I can't see myself doing anything differently. Another reason why I want to be a filmmaker in particular is that I love horror, I love thriller, I love anything to do with that type of genre. If you think about horror these days, it's associated with gore and just violence and brutality, and that's not what horror used to be. If you think back to like Nightmare on Elm Street, aside from the exploding geyser of blood coming out of Johnny Depp's bed, but if you think of that, if you think of Halloween, Psycho, The Birds, like all of these classics, it's all suspense and tension, and that's what I want to bring back to the horror genre. Not just gore, because that's a completely different subgenre, and I don't want people to associate horror with that anymore, because a lot of people say that they don't like horror. I'm not entirely sure where I developed this from, but I have a very sick, twisted mind, and I'm fascinated by anything that's dark or horror related, essentially. Anything scary, I'm fascinated by it. And so another thing that makes me want to be a filmmaker is that I want to reinvent the horror genre. I want to bring back the original tension and intense moments that horror films should be creating right now, not making you feel uncomfortable and like you need to leave, but rather keep you on the edge of your seat and keep wanting to watch to see what happens. That's basically why I want to be a filmmaker. I've just been doing this for so long that this is what makes me happy. This is what I'm passionate about. And I know I've said this a million times, but yes, I am aware it is incredibly difficult to get into this industry, but I know that I'm going to do it, especially with the support of my professors that I have right now that are helping me not necessarily get my foot in the door, but helping me take the right steps to get my foot in the door. And that kind of leads into the message that I wanted to leave in this video today, and that's you're going to come across people in your life that are going to want to push you down and tell you that you can't do something, but if you're really passionate about it, prove them wrong. Show them why you are a badass and why you can do anything you set your mind to. Follow your heart. If you're passionate about something, don't let what others say and think about it influence your decision on whether or not you want to do that for the rest of your life. Why should we have to reduce ourselves to a retail job or being a waitress for the rest of our lives because we feel like we need to make money in order to live? I mean, yes, that is kind of important, but we can still do that while still pursuing our career to the point where we don't need to be that waitress anymore. We don't need to be that retail associate. Guys, whatever you want to do with yourself, whatever you want to do with your life, it's never too late to start and follow your dreams. I guess that's pretty much all I have for you today in this video. I really wanted to make this because I've been getting that question asked a lot lately, and I honestly love to answer it. So if any of you guys have any questions about it, leave it down in the comments down below. I would absolutely love to respond to you guys and let you know how I'm doing right now as a film major, trying to get into the industry, and you know, the struggles that I'm encountering and stuff like that. I guess that's the end of this video. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. It would absolutely mean the world to me, and hit that subscribe button if you're not already and you want to see more content. I post every Monday and Friday and vlogs when I do stuff. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. Live life, always laugh, and enjoy the journey. Bye. Stupid plane.